Hello everybody and welcome to this video. Today we will talk about factual text. What you will need is your school book, a pen and some paper. As I saw in your videos or recordings, you are already experts in writing exciting fictional texts. But today we will get to know a different kind of text, the factual text. First of all, we need to know what is a factual text. But before we start, we need to have a look at the new vocabulary. Please study the vocabulary on page 206 and 207 until the word treat. And then do the following exercise. Wonderful! Now let's look at actual factual texts. We usually have a difference between fictional texts and factual texts. Fictional texts usually tell a story. They don't claim that their story really happened, and they are based on imagination. That's why we call them fiction. Whereas factual texts usually talk about facts. They claim to be the truth, and usually they are based in the real world and real events. Let's look at all of these types of texts and decide if they are factual or fictional. Good job, everybody! You are doing very well. But now that we know the difference between factual and fictional texts, let's make it a bit more difficult. Because you see, there are also some important differences between all of these factual texts themselves. Do you know what the difference is? If your answer was that you need different texts for different situations, you are absolutely correct. Because if you are looking for the definition of a word, for example, hibernation, it would probably be very useless to Google recipes and hope to find an answer. In fact, many different situations require many different kinds of factual texts. Let's see if you can tell which text belongs with which situation. All right, well done. Now you are ready to work with real-life factual texts. First, I want you to take a minute and think about what factual texts in English you have already seen in your life. Have you ever tried to follow a recipe in English? Or seen a news report in English? Or maybe you bought a new device and when you started it, the language was set to English. Take notes and write down all of the factual texts in English language you've come across in your life. The factual text we want to look at today is on page 57 in your book. Please pause the video and read the text carefully. When you restart the video, we will move on to some questions about the text. Pause the video now. Welcome back! Did you learn something new about helping hedgehogs with their hibernation? Or were you already an expert? Let's see if you can answer the quiz about the text. Hedgehog overwintering experts all around. I'm proud of you. Now that you've read the text, what kind of factual text do you think this was? Of course it was instructions. A set of instructions is a factual text that helps you do or make something. Please pause the video here and write the text on this slide down. Most sets of instructions have the following structure. Instructions usually have steps. There are clear steps which you follow one after the other. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and so on and so forth. Sometimes these steps have headings. Let's look at the steps from our text again and decide which heading belongs to which step. Usually, instructions are made with a certain phrase. You often will find imperative phrases like give the hedgehog, keep it in, etc., etc. Very important information. Instructions often include words and phrases like make sure, you must, or never. And then instructions often include facts about the topic. In this case, there are lots of important facts about hedgehogs, such as what they like and dislike and what they need. Let's see if you can spot the difference between an instruction and a fact. All right, we're almost at the end. Now that you're an expert in hedgehogology, you might be able to answer some very important questions about hedgehogs and how to help them during the winter. But do you know how to weigh a hedgehog? Because I know, like this. On the internet, there are some platforms where you can find answers to questions which have been asked many times before. These are called FAQs, or frequently asked questions. Usually, people write them to make sure they don't have to answer the same question again and again. When people write FAQs about special topics, they write questions for what most people will want to know. Then they write helpful answers with lots of facts and information. An FAQ usually looks like this. You have a Q, which is for question. In this case it would be, can I feed my guinea pigs treats? And then you have an A, that's for answer. This answer is yes, but make sure they're special treats from the pet shop. They have to be good for their teeth. Don't feed them sugar or honey. That's really bad for them. Now it's your turn. Think of at least 5 questions for an FAQ section about hedgehog hibernation and write them down together with the correct answers. Thank you very much for your attention. Bye!